Wow, that was great. Running back and forth. Good thing I've been doing a lot of door knocking. I've knocked over 2,500 doors in Hillsdale County over the last couple of months. But you know what? If I had a few more volunteers, we could knock a whole heck of a lot more. I'd like to encourage everyone today, when you're here, think about and think of how you can contribute your time or your talent and help these next 43 days to re-elect our great President Donald J. Trump. I've got a table set up over here with Shannon Dorman. She's collecting names and contact details for people who are ready to volunteer. We need volunteers desperately. I'm just going to take a moment and let you know that in 2016, 30% of Hillsdale's active voters who voted at least once between 2008 and 2016, 30% did not vote. No kidding. You know how much 30% is? 8,600 voters. So let's think about it this way. Half of those 8,600 voters are communists. The other half are red-blooded Americans who should be voting for Donald J. Trump. But they didn't vote. They didn't vote. Now, on one hand, they might have looked at her and said, I can't vote for her. I don't mind voting for a woman, but not that woman, not now, not ever. And then they looked at him and said, he's not like any politician I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what to do. So like Yosemite Sam, they just sat down, and smoke's coming out of their ears, and they said, we're just going to sit this one out. But now there's no reason to sit it out. Everyone you know has an opinion on Donald J. Trump. And I think most of us here in Hillsdale have a favorable opinion, an opinion that says we're going to vote and cast our vote 43 days today for Donald J. Trump. But you know, if we don't get the people to the polls, if you're casting an absentee ballot and you don't actually fill it out, I mean, it's one thing to talk, but you got to walk the walk. You know, if you're going to talk the talk, you need to walk the walk and go to the polls or fill out that absentee ballot and get that into the clerk. It's got to happen. And every single one of you are charged to make sure that your friends, your family, your neighbors, all of you all who talk the Trump talk, you make sure that they get to the polls. You are the leading edge of this campaign. And this is a campaign to keep and preserve and protect and defend America and the great American Republic that we've known, well, for all our lives. And the question is, as when Benjamin Franklin came out of the Constitutional Convention, the woman said to him, Mr. Franklin, what have you given us? And he said, a republic, if you can keep it. Now, can we keep it? Can we keep it? What are we asking you to do? Are we asking you to load up? Isn't there something we can do short of another civil war? Why, yes, there is. There's something that's been proven to work for years after years, generations after generations, and it's called casting your vote. And we need to have you be sure that you cast your vote. And we all know what day that is. That's November 3rd. Keep that in mind. Now, earlier I promised you that we're going to have another Marine speak. And I'm very pleased right now to present the candidate to replace term-limited representative of the 58th, Eric Lloyd Hauser. The candidate to replace him, Marine officer, lawyer, good guy, Andrew Fink.
So that's 2 Marine officers. That's pretty great. I was a lawyer in the Marines, which isn't as fun as an artillery officer, but Uncle Sam needs all of his children. So I want to talk about another good guy real quick before I get into the politics here, and that's Lawrence Peter. Lawrence is the guy who just talked to you, just told you everything that's going on in the Trump campaign. He is responsible for the Trump campaign and the other statewide campaigns in Hillsdale County, and we are very blessed. We're blessed to live in Hillsdale every single day of the year. We're blessed to have the people here around us every single day of the year, but in this campaign cycle we have, I am quite confident, the best county director of the Trump campaign of any county in Michigan. Just look around you for proof. I don't think there's another county in the state that's got a gathering like this happening today. So thank you to Lawrence, thank you to everybody else who made this happen today, and thanks to all of you for being here. So I want to talk real quick about what we need to do in November, which I think you mostly know the answer to, and why. Well, why is it so important for all of us to turn out our friends and our family and our neighbors to vote for the Republican ticket in November? You know that you want to elect Donald Trump, you know that you want to elect John James, but why is it so important to make sure that it turns out up and down the ballot? Well, I'm going to get to that in a second, but first I want to say, what do the Republicans care about? The Republicans care that you live in a safe and strong community, so your kids can go to school, so that you can open your business, so that you can go to your job, keep more of what you earn, and when your kids get home from school and they've actually learned something that day, you can go about your lives according to your consciences. Republicans want to make sure that the police are respected in our community. Amen. The Republicans want to make sure that you keep more of what you earn. The Republicans want to make sure that we can go to church without a government, our governor, telling us we really ought not to because it isn't a good idea, it's not safe. What I just summed up for you is what I think of as basic American citizenship. It shouldn't be controversial, yet today it is. So that's why it's so important to vote for the Republicans, because what do the Democrats want to do? The Democrats want to accrue power. They want to get power for the bureaucrats. They want to get power for lifelong politicians, and they want to change the rules once they have that power so that they think they'll never lose the power again. What rules do they want to change? The Senate filibuster. They want to pack the Supreme Court. You're seeing stories about that today. They want to increase immigration and amnesty all the illegal immigrants who are here now because they think that those are permanent Democrat voters. That's the kind of act, that's what they want to do, is change the rules so that they'll never lose power again. So now is the time to tell them that we're not going to stand for that. That's not how we the people want to be treated by our government. We want to be treated as the free and equal citizens that we are. All right, so the what is, you've already heard a little bit about this, and you're going to hear more about it, but we need you to, when you turn out for President Trump, and you're getting your friends and neighbors to turn out for President Trump, and for John James for Senate, and for Tim Walberg for Congress, and for Andrew Fink for State Representative, we need them to vote for all the Republicans on the ticket. It's actually very easy to do because you can vote straight ticket. So we need you to do that. But I want to actually throw something at you in reverse a little bit. And this might not be a lot, but save that thought for a second. You've got friends and neighbors and cousins and folks that you've run into who are running for school board this year, or running for city council, or running for township trustee. And it seems like it's not controversial because there's probably no Democrat running for any of that stuff where you live. In fact, in Hillsdale County, I can guarantee there's no Democrat. I don't think there's a Democrat on the ballot below my own race. So it's not that we need you to turn out for those folks in order to make sure that the Republican wins those seats. Well, what we need you to do is all the people who are going to go out and vote for all of those friends and neighbors of theirs for these local offices, make sure they understand that they need to vote for everybody, all the Republicans on that ticket, including President Trump. And the reason is, when President Trump won this state in 2016, he won it by 10,704 votes. Well, he had way more than 10,704 votes in this county alone. Everybody who votes in this county, if you just get the average person from this county out to the polls, there's a 2/3 chance you're going to vote for President Trump without you even telling him to, because that's what this county's like. And we have enough voters here to make a difference for the state, which means make a difference for the country, because President Trump needs Michigan. So when you're talking to your friends and neighbors about these local races, make sure they understand that little vote that they think they're turning in a local race, and they don't usually vote, but they know somebody who's on the ballot this year, they need to understand, just like we need to teach everybody who's going to vote for the top of the ticket to vote down to the bottom of the ticket, let that work in reverse as well, and get these folks who are not normally engaged to understand that we need their help, because this election and all of those things that the Democrats want to do turns on Hillsdale County, Michigan. Thank you very much. It's so great to see you here. I can't wait for November 3rd. I think we're going to wind up surprising some people. Thanks for being here, and God bless America.